What up? What up? I just want to thank you for letting me have an opportunity to get Favian's little insight on this and just seeing what y'all are doing and how he makes it happen.
Yeah, you know what he's doing. He's a pretty good videographer. I heard about him coming out like a couple years ago already. Yeah, I worked with him for his video and I already knew he was about his shit.
Yeah.
Shout out to him, man. He does it.
Yes, sir.
He got stamina to his hair. He sees things that others don't.
Oh.
Crazy. Without him, I couldn't even be doing none of this. I don't know no one I know that with a camera that could do what he can do.
Right. The concept's nice. Yeah. I'm excited for people to see this. I'll let them know. Stay tuned. Stay tuned for your music. Welcome back to 1 to a Million. I'm KG for those of you who don't know me, and I'm here with Favian, another entrepreneur, and he's going to answer a few questions for us. Go ahead and let the viewers know a little bit about what you do and what you're a part of.
Okay, awesome. Well, first I want to go ahead and thank you for having me on your show.
Thank you.
That's love. I really do appreciate that. My name is Favian Navarro. I'm a videographer out of Hobbs, New Mexico. I was raised here all my life. I just make music videos, commercials, weddings, quinceañeras, anything that has to do with the video. Or if you have a vision, try to
make it work.
To bring it to life, you know what I mean?
I've definitely seen it portrayed in your work. We were just talking about that, and you've been able to really add emotion to just words of a song into a video where people can really relate to the song much more, or just feel the vibe of what they're trying to portray. And I feel like your projects really do that for you. You do that really good.
Appreciate it.
I want to say I'm super proud of you. I've known Fav for quite a while since I was younger. And I'm really proud of you. Seeing all of us where we come from, especially you. I'm proud of you for doing this.
That's love.
We talked about your videography, but what is it that truly makes you an entrepreneur, you feel?
That truly makes me an entrepreneur is basically what an entrepreneur does. An entrepreneur, the main goal is to have, for other entrepreneurs, correct me if I'm wrong, but the main goal is to have many revenues of income.
Yeah.
So it's like a consistent thing. You have to be about it every single minute, every single day. You know what I mean? So I feel like that kind of puts me in that category, because it is a vision, but it's a vision you have to create. So it's like in real life, our work, we're the paintbrush kind of painting it all up. But if you take a break, that paintbrush is put to the side. It's not, the vision's not getting clear. You know what I mean?
Right. So the consistency you would say that you put into making those multiple streams of income and adding that revenue to you, that's what helps you become more of an entrepreneur every day, is being consistent with it, huh?
Right. And it's self-development, making sure you're on point. You have to put yourself in check when it comes down to it. Nobody else is going to.
Right.
Every day you're going to be back at the crib by yourself.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. I get home, I'll lay on the couch, and I'm like, just get up. Gotta get back up. Gotta get back up and do it again. What would you say a plan of action does a skill such as yours require?
As my skill set?
Mm-hmm.
Plan of action would be you have that drive, a vision, and a lot of patience.
Okay.
I think a lot of patience has that to play.
How do you incorporate that with such a busy lifestyle? Because I know an entrepreneur gets into something they love to do, and then they realize it's so much work, and you realize how busy it can get. So how do you incorporate that into a busy schedule?
Incorporating it is actually just kind of taking one moment at a time. You know what I mean? Because as an entrepreneur, you have something next week, but let it be next week. You can have your thought process, and you can take time for yourself to prepare for that. But don't think too much, because that's how a lot of people get overwhelmed and get anxious, anxiety, stuff like that. So I think, let it be in that next week, be in the moment. If I have a shoot right now, okay, I'm in this moment. The only person that really matters is this artist. Right. Anybody that's involved in this project. And everything else is blocked out. Somebody's calling me, sorry, bro, I gotta work on this.
Putting yourself in present time and realizing what you need to achieve later is gonna happen, but when you need to be able to do any of that, you're gonna have to do what you have to do now.
Right. And then envisioning too much because you're focused on next week, that puts you on hold. You want to.
Gives you mental blocks.
Yeah, you kind of scare yourself in a way. Not necessarily scared, but you intimidate yourself. I got this thing I gotta do. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be like that. You set it up for a reason because you can handle it.
Very true. Yeah, I just recently started to schedule a little bit more with some more entrepreneurs out here, some artists out here, because I'm about to move, and it's literally within these next 2 weeks. And I was like, let me just hit some people up. Like I know a lot of people out here who do these. Like, let me get in contact with them and see if they're willing to work with me. And I surprisingly had people just within that week. As soon as I went to look for some people were hitting me up and asking me or saying, hey, hit up this person, giving me references. And it's like, as soon as I put the work in, everything flowed in, but it did also kind of overwhelm me. And I was like, oh my God, I set it all up, I scheduled it all out, but it was still like, oh my God, all this is coming. And then now that I'm doing it day to day, it's like, oh, you've been doing this,
You got this.
You got this, yeah, the next is coming, yes.
Exactly.
To get what you truly desired, what are some risks you had to take?
I think, man, honestly, it's been a lot of risk that I personally feel, so every entrepreneur has their own collection of their own risks. I think my main one was actually I quit my job. I quit my job because I knew this is what I wanted to do. And I'll be real. I probably quit my job a little too soon, because it's like
I did it too.
It's like you got that vision of now, you know what, I'm focused on this 100%. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
What I mean?
You're like ready to go.
But to any entrepreneurs, bro, you know what I mean. Keep that job. Make some money. Put your time into whatever you got on the side, because what your job right now is feeding you.
Exactly.
It's helping bring that vision to life.
Right.
Basically.
When I had started more of my investing side, I was working and it was working out great for me. I had my investment side, I had my steady income, it helped me move, and I was just getting so overwhelmed with one, COVID, and two, just the place I worked. It felt so close-minded, and I wanted to be surrounded by my investment group. And although I was set, and I believe it happened at the right time, right moment, always. But I do believe if I would have waited just a little bit longer, I could have stacked up a little bit more than that I wanted to. I would have had multiple streams of income, not just the few that I had started gaining from it. But it worked out. But definitely, I would say if you're starting a new project or anything, give yourself some time to let it form and make sure you have a source of income.
Yeah, definitely. Don't jump the gun. It's easy. It's easy to do that, but it's it's a little hard for us to take a step back, reflect on the whole situation, reflect on all of our life. We forget to do that before jumping the gun.
Yeah. Taking literally like you said, being in present moment, being in present time, just realizing, okay, I'm going good. Let it just work itself out. At some point you could even just be so straight you resign. Now it was just kind of like everything overwhelmed me. I was making good money, and I was just like, I'm not going in. That's just what it happened, and I just never went back to work. And thank God it's been working for me, because I realized, oh gosh, now I really have to make this work.
Right. But I think everything does happen for a reason. So that extra time, where we talk to ourselves, man, we could have, we should have, could have. It's probably just that piece of character development that we needed to build within ourselves. We needed
so do it now.
We needed to rip that band-aid off soon.
Yeah.
It's probably something inside of us that knew we had to do that.
Yeah, I think I might have at some point just told myself just take the leap. And it's not even necessarily a leap. It's really just a step. And I think I was thinking it was gonna be this whole jump off. Just run and jump off. And then it was like I ran and. Oh, it was just a step down. Yeah, or that too. I felt like I was falling at some point, but it was really just like a step away. I just had to make sure I was more prepared.
Right. Yeah. Live and learn.
And the more I've learned to prepare myself, the more opportunities come up. So it kind of taught me a lesson. It did. So it worked out. What are some systems and strategies you use to develop?
I think when it comes down to it, it's really about if I'm off the answer for
that's okay.
But I think it's more about letting people see what a sign. Like the logo, for example, my Diamonds Rising logo. I just want people just to see that logo. That's it. And throughout time, a week later, shit, I seen that.
Yeah.
2 months later, damn, I've been seeing that a lot lately.
The exposure for it.
The exposure for it, yeah. So it's like no matter what projects, just keep it consistent, keep on driving, but make sure that You know, if you're trying to get out there, if you're trying to market yourself, make sure that you're being seen. You know, your company, your face, because your face is, you're literally the face of your company and what you put. You know, so whatever you do, whatever you put on Facebook as well, or social media, you know what I mean.
Remember to make it you.
That's a reflection of you. Yeah, reflection of you, reflection of your business. Because later on, eventually, if you start something, later on, people are gonna know you for that. Know you for what you
put out there. Right.
So you kind of gotta be smart on the moves.
For sure. Those are some good. There's just strategies, I guess you could call them, because you really set it out there to get as much exposure as you can with something that you portray yourself, and that's a really good strategy, is making sure you get that exposure and just letting people know, hey, this is what I'm about.
Right.
I think people now too, they're just like, oh, you do Forex, and I'm like, oh yeah, I do other stuff now too.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm okay with being known for doing Forex because it's brought me income, it's brought many people around me just so much success, so I know it has greatness to it. So if you associate me with that, then I'm definitely okay with it.
Right.
But what else would you say use are some systems that you use for developing your videos? Like, would you say, because like sometimes, well, let's say not sometimes anymore, because I've been so busy with this and I've been really trying to be consistent with it. Before, I was getting the video out like every week, and that was simple because I had some time to edit it and whatever. Right. But now I'm doing every 2 weeks, and I'm videos in between, so I have to kind of edit those and then upload them and get them out the way. I'm trying to do them like right after,
Right.
And just get it done while I'm in the creative mind. After I just kind of did it and worked on it, I already know how I want to place everything.
Right.
Would you say that like you use some systems like that to?
A system that I use, and it's kind of a weird story. It's a funny story. But my friend Ricardo LA, he's a videographer as well. He's a musician. He's in a Mexican band, and so shout out to Ricardo first. I have a lot of respect for that dude. Him kind of started way back in the day doing things here and there. But he told me that, and it's a really dope strategy. But all the projects that you have, and everything that you have to do, picture him as a frog, okay? Like as a frog, okay?
Frog.
Yeah, picture him as a frog. So you got big projects, right? And you got like some medium projects, might take a little bit of time. And then you got some quick projects that's gonna take like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, okay? So you got big frogs, medium frogs, and small frogs, right? But you're hungry. The only way you can eat is if you eat the frogs. You're hungry. You can't starve to death, right? But all you got is these frogs. It's your projects. But if you keep on eating all your small frogs, it's gross as hell. You know what I mean? You eat it, it's like, ooh, that's kind of nasty. Ooh, it's nasty. I don't even want to touch the medium frogs. I'm like, oh, it's nasty. You know what I mean? Yeah. Now you have the large frogs, and you don't want to do it no more. But those are the bigger projects, because you're tired out from all the small projects, and you keep on thinking about the big project. Man, I don't want to do that, man. Stuff like that, in a way. So
burning yourself out.
Right. So kind of a good thing to go about it is like the big frogs, take care of the big frog first, which is the big projects. The projects are going to take a little bit more time. Take a lot more thinking. Go in there, eat the big frog, nasty as hell, 2 big frogs, boom. But I got 2 big ass projects out the way. Big projects that I've been thinking about for a while, like it's gonna take a while, shit like that.
Right.
You're not really supposed to complain to yourself, but you know what's ahead of you.
Yeah. You gotta be real with yourself.
Right. And then you go to the medium frogs, you eat the medium frogs like that, and okay, that wasn't as bad. Then you start the small frogs, you got like
easy,
5 projects,
pop those things back.
and now you're back on schedule. You know what I mean? Now you gotta roll with your projects and stuff. So yeah, he told me that one day. And that stuck with me ever since. He told me that probably like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, that shit always hits my mind when I don't want to do something. I'm like, eat your frog, bro.
Wow.
Put yourself in check.
I could say I'm trying to start to look at it like that. I guess I can look at it like that a little bit more now. With these videos, I feel like they're a little bit more bigger projects for me. They take about maybe an hour to 3 hours just filming, and that's just because I'm networking with them, I'm getting to know these people and things like that. Some of them just flow right through it. One of them, my friend saw, he showed up, we did it 15 minutes, boom, 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 and then we just chilled after, which that was cool, but the video and the actual thing didn't take long. But afterwards, the editing, sometimes it takes me like 2 hours, sometimes the uploading takes like 3 hours. And I'm just sitting here on my phone just waiting for it to upload because I can't do the next thing until that's done. And so I'm just like, okay, just have patience. Now meditate, now do this, you know, like try to calm myself down. But I have been trying to get those larger projects out before I market investing a little more. You know, I'm not too big on marketing it as much, but I do like to show people the opportunity. So if they're interested, I'd be more than welcome. But that's not my main focus right now. You know, I'm really intrigued with doing this. I want to travel and do this all the time, you know. Right. So that's what I'm focusing on. I'm like thinking like, yeah, you're right. Like take those big ones and I mean, the other ones come in easy. Like I would have my days, I'll hit people up or I'll market and people are hitting me up and I'm like, okay, those meetings are going to come regardless. Mm-hmm. But this is something that I'm going to have to genuinely spend my time on and put myself into. So this is a larger project. So you're right. That's very true. The big frogs.
The big frogs.
That's a cool system. I've never thought of it like that. I mean, I wouldn't think I thought of it like that because I don't like frogs. But I mean, that makes sense.
Sideways too. I was like, what?
Yeah,
frogs. It's dope.
So do you believe in manifestation?
I do. I really do believe in manifestation.
Okay. What made you a believer of it? Maybe like an example of you doing or involving in manifestation.
With manifestation, what made me a believer is I kind of noticed manifestation when I was young. Mm-hmm. I noticed that like the things that I would complain about are the things that I wanted. Because even good things happen at times, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I would be a certain way, and then something bad would happen, and I'm like, yeah, as a kid, I remember telling myself like, damn, I'm never thinking that again because I thought that's a lie because it just happened to me. You know what I mean? You
were aware of it though. Yeah.
Right, but as time went on, I got older. You know, learning what more manifestation is. It's like.
What is manifesting to you?
Manifestation is like the canvas that you create in your mind. It's like what you see, you know. But you do gotta be careful because. When we like for me, example, you know, we manifested. Right now, I'm living everything that I wanted 3 years ago, 2 years ago, right? But right now, and this is before I like self-reflected. Right now, or like before, I was already trying. Like, man, I wish it was this, and I wish I was over here doing this. Like, man, I need to do this and do this. Yeah. I wasn't really being grateful for. I appreciated to myself to getting where I was at right now. You know what I mean? Like, bro, you wanted this, you manifested it. You know what I mean? So be cool, be calm, you know what I mean? Take that where you're at right now, and then manifest correctly for the future. Right. Like, because it's tricky. It's like 3 wishes. You know what I mean? It's like you don't get what you want, but you gotta manifest it correctly because it might have a con side. You know what I mean? Like it might,
you have to be. So I talked about this on another video, but reading it within The Secret, it talks about having deliberate intent and being specific with your words, because the universe or God, they don't know I don't want. Your subconscious mind that you're telling to get these things done to, it doesn't know I don't want this. Let's say I want a pack of gum. I could say I want a pack of gum. Let's say I don't want it. I could say I don't want a pack of gum. Either way, I'm attracting that pack of gum, so it's gonna be somewhere.
Right, you're gonna come across that.
Yeah, so whether you don't want it or want it, it's gonna be there because that's that specific thought you're thinking, and you're putting all your focus on it and attracting it to you. It's just gonna end up coming to you. So if you're thinking of something negative and you're saying, I don't want that to happen, I don't want that to happen, you're still thinking that's gonna happen. So you need to change it around and think of what you want. And then not say, I want to, or I wish to, you know, because that's something I did too. I was like, oh, I wish I could do this, I wish this, and that. In my notes, I read in my notes, one day I'll be a millionaire. And then I went back and reviewed my notes in a different mindset. And I put, I am a millionaire. Right. Like, that's going to be like, it's going to be your most hard work. So you have to realize, like, get what's right in your face right now done, and work your way along the way. And the steps will just get easier and easier. You'll just start flowing right into it.
Right, exactly.
I feel comfortable speaking about this with you because I know not a lot of people have the mindset of it, or set their mind to believe, hey, I can really do that for myself, because our subconscious minds have been engraved since we were younger.
They're like us as humans, like, man, we're capable of a lot of things. We just literally have to tap in. But if you tap in with it, you have to be cool with yourself too.
You have to be content with, it's not just stepping into, that's something I had to learn myself too. It's not just stepping into, I'm a millionaire. It's, well, why am I not a millionaire now? Okay, well, because I made this choice and I made this choice when I grew up in a small, poor family. Okay, that doesn't matter. That has nothing to do with me, right? Cool. So what does it have to do with me? And you have to focus in on like those little strengths and weaknesses and see what you can utilize from them.
Right.
How does manifesting help you evolve into the embodiment you are today?
Manifesting helped me. I think it just goes back to being more aware of how you manifest, you know, because I'm doing exactly everything that I'm wanting.
Like you were saying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I realized at that time I wasn't manifesting exactly how I wanted to. So I'm still facing some same routines, some same lessons that I have to approach with a level-headed mind rather than what I did beforehand. You know what I mean?
Right.
Basically, if I knew back then what I know now, then it would have been a lot smoother. Maybe I would be like a little bit more farther ahead. But
with what you know now, you're going to create better.
I can create that image now.
Right, and then
a lot better.
I was going to say, would you say like within creating or manifesting, would you say that you start to create your reality, but believing that it's already in the now, help you embody that? Like you're like, okay, well, if I can just create myself as I would see myself as the best videographer, let's say that, you know, the best videographer in all of the United States. And then I would have to start now.
Right.
You know, you have to start putting that placement in now and realizing, yeah, I'm getting all the backlash of what I didn't manifest right or correctly in the past, but I still have the future to worry about. So I'm going to stay here in the present and work on what I can fix now. Would you say that's what you were kind of working on? Right.
Yeah. Like when it, in a way, yeah. Like, but when it comes to like, you know, because you do have to say, you know, you have to take that in and say like, you know, I am that person. I am this shit. You know? But that's just like, me personally, I feel like, you know, that's a self-talk because in my world, we're all different worlds living amongst each other. Like you, for example, you know, you have your channel and everything, your interview and everything. That's your world. That's what you create. Right. Just like my world, I'm creating living, but right now our worlds are combining with all this. You feel me?
I get what you're saying though, like it's not about creating like I said, you know, the best videographer. I meant necessarily like to yourself, you know,
yeah,
to yourself. And I guess that can give some misconception, and I will correct myself right there because yeah, definitely if you're not doing it for a greater or higher purpose to help others, to serve others, to love others, it's not going to necessarily work in the best way or the way you think it's going to work out. Because you're focusing on other tasks that's really not important or in alignment with your journey. Exactly,
and what you're doing is you're carving yourself. You're, you know, making sure that you're doing. It's just from books that I've read, you know what I mean? So, you know, you're doing, because all we can do, us as a person, is our best. But as long as we know that our best is our excellence, then yeah, of course, all we're gonna do is just bring excellence. But it's in our own world. So, because like, it goes back to the videography thing, like I know, you know, not to sound, you know, cocky or anything, like I know I
give you confidence though.
Yeah, I know I can provide a really great image when it comes to, you know, giving somebody what they want.
Right.
And I know I can, you know, basically I can deliver that. But I know for a fact there's gonna be two dudes down the street, like down a couple blocks, that could probably do the same thing too.
Right.
You know,
so how can you evolve it? How can I do it better in my world and be content with my excellence that I'm giving out?
Right. And the only way to go about that is to stay in my world. That's what I realized.
I like that.
To stay in my world, challenge myself. I watch my videos, you know, multiple times. Damn, you know, I could have done that. Or damn, that would have been cool to do too. You know what I mean? But the more you know, it's like the more you challenge yourself, you're not out here looking at you're not seeing what's out there. You're seeing what's inside. So, you know, you're seeing what's inside.
Not worried about the outside.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You know, you're trying to beat yourself. You know, you're just challenging yourself. That's it. You know?
Yeah. Being in competition with only you because that's all your battle ever is. So if you're trying to be in competition with other people's lives, your world is just gonna fall apart in front of you.
All the wrong reasons. And then, you know, you're in competition with them and they're not even worried about you, you know.
Oh.
But you're over here trying to climb onto them and then now you're upset because they're not even noticing you. Wait, you know, notice yourself, bro. You know, you gotta work on yourself.
I feel like people in a like smaller town like this too, they can kind of get constructed or like kind of distorted by that surrounding and outside noise because it's so close and so familiar people and everything like that. So I think people get distorted. So just my advice for the viewers, just try to forget the outside noise, keep following forward, keep pushing towards your goals and realizing that if you feel content with your excellence, like he said, and then push forward within it and keep going for that and create your own world around you.
Right. Most definitely.
What are some challenging problems you would say you confront every day? Just like on a regular day of working.
Challenging problems. I mean, I can name a few maybe, but like one of them right now is my computer. That's a challenging problem for me.
Technology.
We don't know.
It's the best, but it can be a pain.
It could be a jerk sometimes, but that's one of them. I think another one too, and this is for like a lot of folks, you know, maybe a lot of people are facing this. If not, then that's awesome. But I think it's when you're working on yourself and rewiring your mind to be where you want to be, you know, who you want to be, it becomes like a lonely road. It's a lonely road, I'm telling you, you know what I mean? Because, you know, you're working on yourself and you're working on your craft and your projects for like 3 months, 6 months, and then your state of mind is a whole different place than, you know, where other folks are. Right. But it does feel good being around people who do have that, you know, who are creators as well, who have goals, who have visions, who have other entrepreneurs, you know what I mean? It kind of gives you like more of a fuel to beyond that. But I think being comfortable with being comfortable being okay to be alone, like, you know, and knowing what crowds not to, or what not to do, you know what I mean? What not to go, what not to do, you know?
What's not along your
what's
journey,
not
what's not gonna benefit you.
We gotta take it serious every day, you know, who we're around, what we're doing, and stuff
very
like
true.
that.
Very, very true. Just recently, like when I had went out to Phoenix, I had surrounded myself with my investment group, and although we had the same goal, or we're doing and working on the same craft, we didn't have the same goal. That's what I meant to say, yeah. So it was kind of different energies around me, just different types of people, great people, some odd people, but to me, you know, just different, right. Because I'm coming from a small city and this was like a huge city, people who've been living in the city, you know. So everything was just a little new to me. And I really had to I think I've been doing this my whole life, trying to figure out who and what I wanted to surround myself with. Right. And at that time, I was getting into it. It was new to me. And so I wanted to surround myself with those people. And I did. And it brought me great things. But it also brought me some lessons. Right. I would say it brought me a lot of lessons. And now I see myself working towards that and surrounding myself with other artists, other entrepreneurs, people who get into their creative mind, or at least are aware of that journey, and realizing, like, you know, hey, I'm on that journey too. If you can just be by me, like when I'm ready to talk, you know, like that's cool. Like sometimes some of my friends will just sit in silence for a cool minute, and then an idea pops out and we're ready to say it, you know. But we're so comfortable because we understand that we're in our heads or we're working. Or I'm sure if we texted each other like, don't text me, I need an off day, or hey, I need a friend today, you know, like it's there because we understand that we don't have to talk about the outside noise, we just have to support each other along the way.
Exactly, and as humans, it's okay to feel that sometimes, you know. It might be off topic a little bit, you know, but as humans, we are supposed to feel those emotions, because, you know, it's good to be, you know, positive and happy all the time, but to force yourself, you know what I mean, that's making yourself delusional to something that's bad, because it's like
right.
Damn, you know,
you can always manifest happiness, but you also got to be real with yourself and why you're hurting.
If you're having a bad day, take a bad day. It's cool.
I did the other day. Yeah, I did it.
Fuck that.
You told me I need to, but and even that day I had a friend too. He told me, he was like, you know, you gotta just tell yourself you're happy. You know, give yourself those affirmations. I was like, you know, you're so right, but I feel sad. Like I already told myself my affirmations. I already meditated. I already did this and that, but I feel sad. So I'm just gonna sit here and be sad for a little bit, you know. Right. And then I had dinner with friends, and it turned out so much better. So
yeah, right. And another great thing is that, you know, being around the right people as well. You know, it's being around the right people. Like if you're feeling low a little bit, the people who accept you in that. You know what I mean? Because like I said, we're all humans. You know, if we're around each other, you know, you're feeling a little low, I'm just gonna be chilling. Like, hey, you need anything? No, I just want to chill alone. And, okay, cool. Take your time. And even sometimes, some people need to cry sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
people,
for sure.
Let it out, bro. If you're angry, you know, the natural way especially, you know, because that image, you know, when you're angry, just goes to like breaking things or smashing things, stuff like that. No, you gotta be comfortable with your emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're feeling it, acknowledge your emotion. Okay, I'm a little upset right now. All right.
Let me go.
Acknowledge your emotion.
Mm-hmm. Let me go deal with it myself.
Let me deal with it myself. How do I
Mm-hmm.
process this? Okay, is there anything I can do to change it? Anything? Okay, no, out of my control. Cool. I'm gonna let myself be upset for a little bit, then I'm gonna go about my day, because
It's out of your
if
control.
if it goes throughout the whole day, that's a whole day that you just let go of the room. Even when you're sad too, take your sad moment, relax. You know what I mean? And this doesn't sound weird when it comes to happiness, you know, excitement. You know what I mean? We get excited, but we drain ourselves.
And be grateful for it.
Yeah, you know, just be accept that moment. Like, damn, you know, that's exciting, but you have to move on to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
You have to move on. You know what I mean?
You have to let yourself bask in it and then walk away from that emotion and ready for the next.
Because then it's like with the project and recognition.
Mm-hmm.
If people keep on telling you like, man, that's dope, that's dope, that's dope, and that fuels you, the one moment if they don't tell you that's dope, you're gonna start feeling like, it's not dope. You know what I mean? What you mean? That's not, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's something else that a lot of people kind of have to, you know, kind of know that as well. Like, don't take even the good things so personal. Because I mean, it's dope that you acknowledge it. I appreciate the love, you know what I mean?
Right.
But I have to move on as well.
Exactly. I know, like, when I started more of my spiritual journey and like getting in tune with like meditation more. I've always done small meditations, but doing it more frequently, especially when I'm having more of a stress day. Sometimes I'd get too into it, and I'd be like, oh my goodness, if our spirit, if we don't even know where it goes, you know, at the end of the day, I could have just been on this earth to pet a dog one day, and that was really my whole purpose. So, like, you know, and I get lost into it, you know, I flow into it, and I'm just thinking, you know, and I would tell my brother these thoughts. He calls me all the time, and like, he'll just check on me mentally, you know, hey, how you doing? What you been thinking about? What you been doing? You know, and I'll start spitting out my ideas and this and that, and he's just sitting there like letting me just talk. I'm telling him about the new knowledge I have. I'm overflowing it to him, and then he's like, oh yeah, well, with this, and he already had like all of it into, and he had advice for it. He had tactics for it, and I'm like, all right, whatever. You know, I thought I had something for you, but one thing he did tell me one time, he was like, okay, like he was like, was that like, you know, was that all your thoughts or whatever? I was like, yeah, and then he told me, but remember, your soul might be everlasting, but you're in this body to be grounded and to feel emotions, because our spirit knows what it wants and it knows what it's going to do, so it's going to decide that for itself. But our body and then what we feel for other people on this planet, and you're not going to be able to fully engage in that unless you sit in it and now and really like let yourself and allow those emotions. My brother told me, he said, if you need to feel, you're gonna have to let yourself feel. And so that's very true. My brother gave me that insight.
That's awesome advice right there. And it's like, because that is very true.
What would you say is or was one of your greatest fears?
Honestly, one of my greatest fears was fear. It was just
having fear. So I feel like when you get aware of that you're not supposed to have fear, you're like, oh my God, I'm scared to have fear.
So it's like, I read this book and it was just all about fear. It was actually the 50th law. So the 50th law, though, from my understanding, from what I got out of it, it talks all about fear. You know, fear is an illusion for us. You know what I mean? Because you know how we said earlier, you know, everything we do made us to this moment how we are. You know what I mean? So it's something that we want, something that we're gonna go get. Why do we let fear stop us? You know what I mean? Like we've created ourselves to be this intelligent person, to communicate and talk how we need to. So why is that fear? You know what I mean? So like whenever that fear moment happens, and it could be an anxious feeling, you're like, you know what I mean? I take that as fear. If I'm about to go somewhere or something, and I get anxious or something, a little anxiety, like, we're just scared for it, bro.
We're just scared for
it. Do your thing, right? You know what I mean? You've been doing this for years. You know, you can do it. You can record it. You can do this. You can do that. You know what I mean? So even today, you know what I mean? I still get anxious at times.
Well, that was a really good description. I think I want to read a lot more books like that. Like I said, I have like lists of them in my phone ready to get purchased. You know, I need to just go and get them.
Right.
But how would you say you manage that fear?
Managing the fear. I think managing it is to know that for you yourself, that, you know, fear is something that we create. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to something new, something we've never done before. Maybe even going around with a bunch of new people. Right. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. you know.
Right.
But when it comes to fear, to manage it, I guess in a way, because I'm like programming myself not to really believe in fear too much, so not really feel that fear. But I would say to face it head on. You know what I mean? Especially if it is for a better purpose for you, for self-improvement, anything like that. Right. So to face your fear head on, acknowledge what you're feeling. Okay, I'm feeling a little scared.
Why am I feeling it? Is it because I shouldn't be in this situation, or is it because I'm doing something new that's going to better my situation? You know?
Right. You know what I mean? If you feel like you're not supposed to be in that situation, then you broke it out of there. You know what I mean? That's your gut telling you. It's not fear. That's your gut telling you get out. Yeah, straight up. But no, the other way, face your fear head on. You know, face that shit, and then usually it's like character development. You know what I mean? You're doing something that you wouldn't do, but that's what fear is. You're stepping out your comfort zone, out that box, and you're creating a whole new one.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And then after that box, jump onto the next box.
Yeah, I like that. What motivates you to surpass fears, to just go for your goals and achieve them? What motivates you?
What motivates me would be like I motivate myself a lot. You know, a lot of inspiration comes from myself, like what I can create. And whenever I do make something, it's like, damn, that was dope. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't have to do that. Especially when I first started too, like I had to learn how to have confidence in myself. I had to learn that, you know, as I was saying now, like I'm dope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I had to learn that, you know. And even now to this day, like there's still plenty more that I need to learn.
Right.
You know. But I think just knowing the fact that, you know, creation, there's non-stop to creation. So that's really inspiring that you can just keep on creating. Another great thing is that it really inspires me is that my peers around in the area that we're in right now. You know, seeing somebody from the same area that you're from, and just seeing them going and striving every day, doing their work, and you know, you don't see them for like a year, 6 months or whatever, and then you end up seeing them again, and then everything that they've talked about, they envisioned, it manifested, they got it, and they did their thing.
Doing so much better.
And it's dope to see because you see where their mental's at. It's like, bro, you know,
see what they grew into.
Keep on doing that, man. That's dope as hell. You know, and you're still you. You're still
seeing
doing
everybody on the same thing
exactly.
and still portraying themselves.
So it's really dope to see, you know, people come from the same area, you know, because it's inspiring, motivational. It's like, damn, they did it. They got out of here. And not that Hobbs is a bad thing, you know. Hobbs is a gold mine. There's a lot of great things that you can do down here. You know what I mean? But you know, but Hobbs really isn't for everybody. If it's not for you, you feel like, you know, something out there a little bit better. Experiment. Go out there, expand yourself. Go out there and enjoy another state if you need to. If you feel like you need that, do that.
Yeah, we were just like we were talking earlier. I talked about how when I moved to Phoenix, I wanted to surround myself with the same motivating people. You know, people who were doing something that I was doing, because I didn't find that a lot around here, especially within the investing side. Right. So when I got out there, I was around my investment group, but it brought around a lot of different energy. We had the same craft, but not the same goal. And I feel like that's a little different, like, you know, so you can surround yourself with people who are doing the same thing as you, but if they don't have the same goal as you, it's not going to be the same purpose that you're fulfilling. Right. And so coming back home and seeing, okay, like there's still, regardless if they're not doing the same thing I'm doing, there's so many people who have the same mindset as me, and I could surround myself with that and use that. I use these people and everybody I meet and everybody I'm interviewing as motivation, because I see y'all doing it, especially coming from where I'm coming from, when you don't see things like that often. Like you said, putting themselves in it and putting themselves in their work and still being themselves while ever evolving. Right, exactly. It's like a fuel, it fuels you, you know. We all have a fire. Whenever we do get passionate about something, our fire goes. And, you know, throughout time, you know, if we don't focus on our passion, our fire could get dimmer and dimmer. Right. It could get to a point to where, you know, the fire goes out. You can start the fire again, of course, but being around the right people, being around people who fuel you correctly in the right way, being around people who aren't going to judge you. You won't necessarily have to rely on yourself to do it for you. And exactly. And it's just an energy thing. It's a fuel thing, you know what I mean? Being around folks who driving and pushing, dope. I have that same energy. That's what I'll keep on doing too. Yeah, so we got the last question. I do want to say thank you for being here. I appreciate you having me. Super proud of you. Like I was saying earlier, I'm so proud of you, especially coming from where we're coming from. Your mental's going crazy too. Like you're very inspiring. Your words, your knowledge, the knowledge you have is very valuable, and the work you put out is valuable, and I hope people see that. And so I want to thank the viewers. I want to just let y'all know, like, we can do everything we put our minds to. If you see somebody working towards something that you'd like, go for it and make it 100% you, and understand, like, I hope I gain more viewers out here as well, just in this area, so y'all can see the amount of people who are really striving for something that they love, risking it all and changing their mindset from something that was engraved in them in their past and making it something greater. But with this last question, if you were able to change 3 things in this world, what would you change?
3 things in this world. One of them, I think the main one would help children become more aware of themselves, individuality. Rather than because I did a reading on Albert Einstein's autobiography, and he talked about order and then individuality. Don't get me wrong, it is good to have order within yourself. That way, we don't go bouncing up the walls, making bad decisions.
Talk about the guidance and everything behind it.
Right. Stuff like that. But to learn the individual person with ourselves, we learn ourselves, what we like, what we dislike, stuff like that. It helps us become who we're meant to be, rather than keeping us in order, like an army. We got everybody lined up right here. Everybody's walking the same pace, wearing the same clothes, wearing the same thing, all that. And then this one person just steps out, but that one person has the power because it's thinking different. It's thinking different.
Value to give.
A lot more stuff. You produce a lot more, and then it's like creating a leader as well. If somebody sees them doing their thing, and it sparks a seed up here for somebody else. Like, you know what, I want to do that too. You know what, I'm gonna do my thing too. It just kind of keeps on going from there. So I think kids learning that at a young age, what that they can be capable for a lot. I think that's a real big thing.
I was talking to you earlier about my nephew and him being so smart, and me growing up babysitting kids and of different ages as well, and seeing how smart they were at an early age. And finally, when I got into my freshman year of college, I was taking a child psychology course, and it instantly changed my mind about the way the children think and how much more knowledgeable they are and how much more receptive they are to information at their earlier ages. Right. And like I was saying about my nephew, my sister-in-law is amazing with him. She not only gives him that individuality to let him express himself and just show who he wants to be. And I believe earlier you said, like, how setting up boundaries, she gives him a choice. She allows him to understand that his voice has a choice. He can make a decision for himself. And from the beginning with him, she's always asked him, can I have a kiss? And if he pushes her away, doesn't want to, runs away, she doesn't smother him. She allows him to make that decision for himself, whether he's feeling like he wants to do that in that moment or not. That if he wants to do it, he can, and if he doesn't have to. So not only giving that individuality, but showing these children that they have a choice, and it's not all just what they've been told their whole lives, it's what they tell themselves. And I feel like a lot more people should do that and express that with their children.
That's very true. And there's this I won't get too into it, but I think there's a book called The Book of Knowledge, and I recommend it to everybody. But it does talk about that. It's greater as well because it teaches us as a person what we've accepted growing up from being a child, what we've heard from, whether it be our parents, whether it be some aunts, uncles, whether it be a stranger just trying to put us down, or just being a bully or something like that. You know what I mean? As kids, we're sponges and we accept things. And then as adults, sometimes this sits in our mind like, okay, I can't do that, or I'm not gonna do that, or I'm not built for that, something like that,
Yeah.
But it's about rewiring our brain. But the Book of Knowledge, look into that. It talks about, kids and having, how they're sponges, and us as children as well, and how we can switch down thinking for ourselves.
Very true, very true. I guess it starts with the future, and the best way we can do it is starting now and giving these future kids individuality. I think with every kid I come in contact with now, I question them like crazy and allow them to talk, and I've noticed that they're kind of in shock sometimes, like, oh my gosh, like, she's asking about me. Yeah, I've been waiting to talk about myself, and I recently did it with some of my little cousins around the age of like 5 and 4 and 6 or so. And just talking with them was they're so smart. Their mom, my prima, has them in like all kinds of academic things that involve them, making sure they're really getting in touch with what they like to do. And oh gosh, they're so receptive to information, to the point to like it just started flowing out of them as soon as they realized I could talk about what I want. And in the middle of like they throw their ideas out there, what their thought process is like. I guess I could say like now with kids, I'm kind of experimenting with them and seeing how far I can pick their brain and seeing what they'll speak about with me and seeing if they'll share their thought process with me, because you can see like how different perspective works out. And doing that with my little cousins was so in awe. And I gave her like a little chain necklace of mine. She was like, oh, this is very beautiful. Thank you for letting me wear it. And I was like, no, like it's yours. Like this. Oh, can I tell my mom? I'm gonna go tell her. Like, you know, and just seeing like that, I don't even think it was the fact that it was like the necklace like that. It was the fact that we had such a great time together. And I think me giving her something was like, oh, she had a great time with me too. Right. She enjoyed it, you know.
I'm pretty sure she's gonna remember that too. It's a memorable moment for her.
And yeah, I think we should do that more with kids. Do you think we should change any other things in the world? I just said 3 things, but you know.
Any other things? Man, honestly, one thing is just like, it might not be big to folks, but I say it's big because I went through the process, but I think everybody should just like, do a self-development for themselves, regardless.
Getting right with their mental.
Right. Getting right with the mental. The big thing right now, our mental health is a big issue within this timeline where we're in.
Exactly.
And me, myself, I've been through times where I've dealt with some mental battles myself.
Right.
But I think because I'm pretty sure, there's a bit higher percentage of a lot of people out here going through mental battles.
Especially with this pandemic.
Exactly. And so I think if people were to know, like, how to go about it, of course, you're feeling sad, you're feeling this, you're overthinking, anything like that, just how to go about it, what right way is, how to make yourself feel good. Something I've learned myself is that, going outside, getting some fresh air, soaking in the sun,
sun gazing a little bit.
It like fuels you. So just little things like that, something to help people be more rooted with themselves and being in the moment. Yeah,
people understanding and comprehending, like you said earlier, like everybody's in their own world, and you said it too, like it gets lonely, and like we all understand that, but one thing we do need to understand is like it's gonna always be like that until once you get to know yourself, you get to surround yourself with people that are like-minded. I was telling you earlier, I hang out with more friends that not necessarily do the same things as me, but their mindset's so similar. And not only that, but we're all human and we all have our rough days, our sad days. We were talking about feeling that and feeling those emotions, and I feel like people really consider their mental health a lot more.
Right. It's very important. Fully agree.
So that wraps up our questions. I want to thank the viewers. I'm pretty sure both of us are very, very grateful for everybody who supports us, especially in this area. Thank you.
Well, first, thank you again for having me.
Thank you for being here.
It was a really dope conversation. I enjoyed it.
Likewise.
I'm glad we got to spend some time right here.
Yeah.
To everybody that's tuning in, I appreciate everybody who's been, following me for, years now, tuning in to me. I have people messaging me saying, I remember when you started it up, and things like that. That really means a lot, and it's dope to feel and see, that people actually,
see the progress.
They see the progress, and they want to see, what I have, visually. You know what I mean? They want to see, what I can create and stuff. It's a really dope feeling. But to everybody, keep it consistent. If you got some dreams, you have visions, keep on paving your way. If you feel lost, it's okay. You're just ahead of what you're supposed to be. It's okay to feel a little lost, but take that step back, reflect, and get back on the drawing board and just keep doing your thing, no matter what. Be surrounded by the right people who are gonna put you at a high value for yourself. How you feel about yourself. People who are gonna respect you. Have love for yourself and love for everybody around you.
For sure. I think that's some great advice. Again, thank you for being here. All of y'all check out his latest projects. He has many more to come. This is really just the beginning, and I am excited to share all this with you, and I hope all of y'all gain some good contacts with him. Hit him up, and if y'all need some videography done, photography, he does amazing jobs, and he's really a great person to work with, somebody that I feel like even when we did that video, like it was really, really great to be around an energy that makes you feel comfortable enough to be vulnerable in front of a camera. So thank you for that. And we also got some insight from his new project coming out with an artist, and you'll be getting a sneak peek of that as well. So y'all like, subscribe, and comment down y'all's thoughts below. And this is 1 2 million.
Y'all can be real. How do y'all like working with Fav?
Honestly, it's a vibe.
Don't push to work for.
It makes it comfortable and for me to get in my comfort zone in order to, kind of get the job done for whatever we gotta do. So I worked with a couple other videographers so far, and
Right.
it just the connection don't spark. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
It's not different. It's just if the connection ain't there, I can't fuck with you, work with you.
Exactly.
It's just a vibe with Fav, you know. He's
Yeah.
the person you can just come and fuck with.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's good insight. We're about to have a 1 2 million interview with Fav, and let us know about his entrepreneur side. Y'all will get a sneak peek of his creative side, what he's working with these artists out here, and what he's making happen with just his view and his mindset, just being able to make it come to life. So thank you, Fav. Thank you. I'm super excited for all of this, and peace. Behind the scenes of Fav doing his shoot.
I ain't a junkie when the fun shit I relapse. This bitch she talk too much, tell that hoe to run like 3 laps. She wanna party cause that's all she really wanna do. She a thotty and her partner, she a thotty too. When she with the king, shawty ready know the rules. Leave your phone at the door and do what bitches do. Her man's got love, but she kinda busy, nigga. Leave a message, she can't pick her with a dick up in her. Leave his body in the trenches, oops, I never lit her. I'm a real rock star, I'm a bone sitter. Fuck with the click cause we drip, bitch. Opposition, they get put on the hit list. Check the resume, I'm the shit. Don't kiss my lips, kiss the dick. Tip, icebergs never melt, drip neck to belt. I'ma catch another dub while you take the L. Some niggas in my city turn trapper and then they tell your baby mama a hoe, bruh, nigga, you couldn't tell where the weed at. Hoe drop to your kneecap, strawberry swisher with the cookie lace with beeswax. I ain't a junkie when the fun shit I relapse. This bitch she talk too much, tell that hoe to run like 3 laps. Where the weed at? Hoe drop to your kneecap, strawberry swisher with the cookie lace with beeswax. I ain't a junkie when the fun shit I relapse. This bitch she talk too much, tell that hoe to run like 3 laps.
For that bitch, I might just pass it to the homies. I don't know a nigga that could ever little wrong. She not that bushy gushy, but you know I'm never pressed with pussy. Smoking cookie, and I'm addicted to the blue cheese. I'm like, okay. Come through, get fucked, get slaved, and lay by. Sticking to the green like I'm Tatum. I got racks inside my pockets, know they hatin'. Don't beat around the bush, are you fucking or not? Don't believe the lies, they be capping a lot. 100 for the chain and a quarter for the watch. You could ask around, we been spinning niggas block. Pussy marijuana, that my fragrance. Reaching for my chain, my nigga, this shit could get dangerous. Walk hard in my system, so you know I had a lane switch. I don't ask for price, my nigga, you know I'ma pay it.
Where the weed at? Hoe drop to your kneecap, strawberry swisher with the cookie lace with beeswax. I ain't a junkie when the fun shit I relapse. This bitch she talk too much, tell that hoe to run like 3 laps. Where the weed at? Hoe drop to your kneecap, strawberry swisher with the cookie lace with beeswax. I ain't a junkie when the fun shit I relapse. This bitch she talk too much, tell that hoe to run like 3 laps. Where the weed at? Hoe drop to your kneecap, strawberry swisher with the cookie lace with beeswax. I ain't a junkie when the fun shit I relapse. This bitch she talk too much, tell that hoe to run like 3 laps. She wanna party cause that's all she really wanna do. She a thotty and her partner, she a thotty too. When she with the king, shawty ready know the rules. Leave your phone at the door and do what bitches do. Her man's got love, but she kinda busy, nigga. Leave a message, she can't pick her with a dick up in her. Leave his body in the trenches, oops, I never lit her. I'm a real rock star, I'm a bone sitter. Fuck with the click cause we drip, bitch. Opposition, they get put on the hit list. Check the resume, I'm the shit. Don't kiss my lips, kiss the dick.
Keep a pill, put her on the sister. I don't like to date. Fuck the normal life, I'm talking about the booty. I'm not time, I hate it. You know my energy.
Tell your baby mama a hoe, bruh, nigga, you couldn't tell where the weed at. Hoe drop to your kneecap, strawberry swisher with the cookie lace with beeswax. I ain't a junkie when the fun shit I relapse. This bitch she talk too much, tell that hoe to run like 3 laps. Where the weed at? Hoe drop to your kneecap, strawberry swisher with the cookie lace with beeswax. I ain't a junkie when the fun shit I relapse. This bitch she talk too much, tell that hoe to run like 3 laps.
For that bitch, I might just pass it to the homies. I don't know a nigga that could ever little wrong. She not that bushy gushy, but you know I'm never pressed with pussy. Smoking cookie, and I'm addicted to the blue cheese. I'm like, okay. Come through, get fucked, get slaved, and lay by. Sticking to the green like I'm Tatum. I got racks inside my pockets, know they hate.
Did he say love ya?
Beat around the bush, how you fuck?
fucking dicks.
In a quarter for the wall. You could ask around, we been spinning niggas block. Pussy marijuana, that my fragrance. Reaching for my chain, my nigga, this shit could get dangerous.